in a sense, where it starts is also where you shared about. I read your LinkedIn post. As a teenager, I think 13-year-old, you said you were in Tokyo. So, I'll try to kind of summarize a long journey. But as a kid, I grew up in Missouri. So I was not born in Mumbai. And for my schooling, I used to walk 3 hours round trip every day to my school through some very beautiful surroundings areas. And so walking has been very integral to my whole thing. And then when I moved to Mumbai, then you realize what a shock it is, and you can't walk to school, etc. So walking has been a lifelong love, walking, trekking, hiking, spending time in the outdoors, nature. And so it was always a thing. In fact, I've lost that document, but in 1997, the first domain name I registered was mumbaiwalking.com. And that domain then later on got lost and all of that. But the idea was to make this into a kind of a thing. But subsequently, I took on very much more serious environmental challenges. Between 2001 and 2012, I got involved with saving mangroves in the city. So that was a very, very tough fight, a very contentious fight, real estate interests, politicians, all the usual things. And it caused a lot of burnout. Between 2003 and 5, I was working at Mumbai First, if you know Mumbai First. So that time the Vision Mumbai report came up, and with McKinsey. And one of the things I tried to seed over there was again the walking agenda. But it worked only a little bit, and unless you give full focus, nothing works. And by 2012, I was burnt out with my mangroves agenda, and it made me enormously bitter because of the poor support. And it's a very contentious issue because you end up making more enemies who are saying you're destroying real estate value, etc. And it was burning within me to identify one agenda in the environment, climate, health, whichever domain you put it under, which will be not contentious. And I said walkability is one such agenda which would be not contentious. Nobody, whether it is a real estate developer, a politician, BMC or Aam Aadmi, would say ki nahi, we are perfectly okay with the walking conditions and we enjoy this and no need to improve. So we said, so 2012, June 20th, in fact, it was Rio plus 20. The Rio में 92 में बड़ा conference हुआ था. Then Rio plus 20 was the occasion. June 20th, 5 of us got together, friends, and I seeded the idea and we started Walking Project. So that is how it started. I can't tell you my love-hate relationship with BMC. That's the only organization I've known for 25 years. In fact, long back I used to tell a friend of mine that I love BMC so much that had my Marathi been good, that's the only organization I would have loved to work in. Like join at the age of 25 and retire at the age of 60. I love that institution. And so I think it's but at the same time, of course, I'm not happy with the way the institution works. But all said and done, I have excellent rapport or experience working with BMC. It's a tough organization, we all know that. And that is where persistence comes in. And that is where I keep saying that organizations like Walking Project, which is basically an advocacy. Like I was speaking with Shalini, we don't end up delivering footpaths on the road. That is the job of the BMC, to use the taxpayers' money and deliver. What we are doing is advocacy, which is so intangible. Because when she brought out CSR, and I said CSR does not touch this by a barge pole, because if they were to give me an X amount of money, they will say by the end of financial year, are we seeing any improvement? There's no improvement. We've been working for 12, 13 years. Even before I've been working for 20 years on the agenda. There is ups and downs, but there is no metric where we can say that we did this and that is why this improved. So I think BMC, I think, and government authorities, persistence really counts. And it's not that everybody is bad inside. There are a lot of people very sensitive. They want to do work. They are themselves feeling very trapped, and because of processes and so many things going on. And I think they end up valuing when people like us come from outside and in a sense are able to do something which they are not able to, or strengthens their hand to do something which they want to do. So this external impetus is something which a lot of people, some people don't like it at all, of course, and they wouldn't want you anywhere close because we are raising a lot of unpleasant questions, and so they will put in obstacles or they will outright stonewall you. But thankfully, all of BMC is not like that. So before I go that, I just want to acknowledge my colleagues, Vedant, Aishwarya. Please, Aishwarya, you also raise your hand. So both of them are co-collaborators, co-conspirators, everything, and that journey, the journey of next 3 years, 5 years is going to be with them, with others also. And some of the work we've been doing together as a team answers your question, because we've been working very closely with MMRDA. So the next 3-5 years, I think, will be much better than the previous 3 to 5 years, because a lot of metro work, a lot of infrastructure work will see closure, and we will actually get to all this dug up and barricades put up, which have been on the nerves for almost 10 years now, will go. Line 2B, etc. will start getting completed. And as far as walkability goes, I think it will be improved, because with the MMRDA, that's what we are working, and they themselves have very good plans that 200-300 meter radius of all metro stations should have a high level of walkability. Vedant himself had a fantastic meeting at MMRDA 15 days back. Very sensitive people over there. We share a very good rapport with the MMRDA officials. They take our inputs very seriously. And on SV Road, Aishwarya has been working, and we are trying to make SV Road as a model, and it's one of the toughest. We've really taken one of the toughest roads. We are saying from Bandra to Dahisar, you have 11 railway stations in a 200-300 meter radius, which means continuous flow of pedestrian traffic. Huge amount of educational institutions all along the length. Within, if you take SV Road, 300 meters on either side, a 600 meter band, we are saying almost 2 to 3 million people are either residing, working. So we are saying SV Road, which is also Swami Vivekanand Road. So we have named it after Swami Vivekanand. And if you look at the conditions, it's deplorable. So you're not showing any respect to Swami Vivekanand also. So we are taking that up, and we are saying, and there are 30 junctions along that. So we are saying, as a quick win, take up these 30 junctions and 50 or 100 meters on each side, because junctions involve a lot of crossing, etc. So we are doing that kind of work. We are also working on, say, 24 ward level groups. Yeah. So I think it seems exciting. It seems the next 3 to 5 years looks promising. No, absolutely. In fact, I will invite you the video from this function which we did, 4 hours, is on YouTube. You would like to hear Pankaj Joshi over there. And Pankaj has designed some of the most fabulous footpaths in the city. Not just him, others also. And in fact, after he's designed those footpaths in the past 7-8 years, we don't use Manhattan and London as benchmark at all. So we are saying these are the exact footpaths which are available within the city, which need to be replicated everywhere. Because it might be in one neighborhood which you will never visit. Bombay is so big. I mean, because of Cogent Studio, otherwise I only see Minerva Tower while passing from that side, and I'm like, iske niche aisa acha studio bhi ho sakta hai, I don't know. So that's what, yeah. Excellent question. I won't have the liberty of spending 30 minutes to answer that. And quick, I will answer that we spent a lot of time analyzing those kind of situations. And good you mentioned Pali, because October 2013, after we started Walking Project, one of the first things which we did with Studio Pod, Mansi, and if you know Studio Pod, are very good friends of ours. And Mansi, Sarfaraz and Mahesh, we walked from Pali Naka, where if you know the Janta Bar, and that Janta Bar se leke we came up till Turner. And you're right, I mean, it is so narrow, so we can't widen the footpath. So we are saying whatever is there, make it high quality surface first of all. Like sir said, no potholes, no people falling in. Height should be not more than 6 inches so that you can get on and off, and slope the edges, etc. So what we are saying is, once you make a high quality footpath, then its throughput increases accordingly. But if it is very high, there are lighting is not there, there is garbage on it, etc. So even a 1 meter footpath made very high quality can provide excellent throughput and people moving in and out. But even if it's badly done, even a 2 meter footpath might not be able to give you that kind of throughput. So there are a lot of smaller things. Also, this is the right time to say that, since you also brought in South Mumbai, during British times, which is what we've in fact keep speaking a lot, there was a rule of 1/3. The British made sure that first they made decently wide roads, then 1/3 of the width of the road was kept aside for footpaths. And if you go to Princess Street, which is my favorite example, Parsi Dairy, you should stand in front of Parsi Dairy. That Parsi Dairy, the width is 30 meters, and 10 meters from that is kept for footpaths, 5 meters here, 5 meters there. It works brilliantly. Nobody walks on the road at all, because 5 meters is more than sufficient for two-way traffic to go on, and it has very heavy traffic. And this same rule we've measured. Vedant and me have done a lot of work on it. MG Road, DN Road, Veer Nariman Road, everywhere that rule of 1/3. So that rule of 1/3 is beautiful. It might not be applicable, but on SV Road we are trying to now bring it. So see, I'm saying the climate agenda is so important, right? I'm not denying it when I'm saying that it is so important, but it is overwhelming. It is overwhelming. And honestly, for me, something like walkability is a litmus test of society. कि अगर आप अपने चलने के एक्सपीरियंस को सुधार नहीं रहे हो या सुधार नहीं पा रहे हो, तो उसको सुधारने में we would see again for climate we need consensus, which has been so difficult over the past 25 years. All these COP talks, consensus never happens. So I'm saying, can we start with walkability, develop consensus and make it time bound within 5 years, 10 years, and the resulting emissions जो मतलब कम होंगे, because people are अब यहाँ से आपको लोअर परल स्टेशन, see now the interesting thing about Mumbai also is कि लोगों को lot of times not out of will but during peak hours there is no other option, that's why people are walking. There is no bus. If you look at places like Andheri Kurla Road, etc., no bus, no rickshaw, no share rickshaw. Metro is packed. Everything. So people are walking 1 or 2 kilometers by default. And also what we are saying is that these are the people who are contributing least to climate change but are suffering the most. So I think that's where I see it, that climate clear, this is a litmus test, that if we solve our climate, not just walkability, we are also great sustainable mobility buffs. So the situation with BST is really painful for all of us. So those things if we resolve, then we are on a good footing.